Hello, my name is Anna Aussem, and today Brandon Peace and I are going to be talking about the Mexican-American War. To start this podcast off, let's discuss Texas, which is what started the conflict that led to the war in the first place. Mexicans welcomed American settlers into its territory of Texas with the hope to develop and populate it. Nevertheless, too many Americans started moving there, so Mexico set laws to limit such expansion. But Americans soon became tired of such restrictions and started a rebellion against the Mexican government in 1835. When this occurred, General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna wanted to regain control of the territory, so he deployed his army to fight the rebels, but it resulted in defeat. The Texan army fought back under the control of General Sam Houston and captured Antonio Lopez. He was forced to surrender, and Texas won its independence. Shortly after, Texas began to pressure the U.S. government for annexation. This issue was debated for a long time because the U.S. didn't want to add another slave state and throw off the balance. Nevertheless, Texas ended up being annexed on December 29, 1845. At the time this was going on, President James Polk was acting under Manifest Destiny, the idea that the U.S. had a duty to expand westward across North America. He wanted to expand as westward as possible, but Mexico stood in the way because it owned a large majority of the land in the west. Polk offered the Mexican government $30 million, but they refused. Consequently, James sent U.S. troops to live in a disputed area of Texas that Mexico still claimed to be theirs. This prompted a border dispute, and both militias fought. Polk then used this as an opportunity to declare war on Mexico on May 13, 1846.
During the Mexican-American War, there were various battles that changed the tide of the war. To start, the Battle of Veracruz lasted from March 9, 1847 to March 29, 1847. During this battle, U.S. Major General Winfield Scott bombarded the Mexican city of Veracruz into surrender. For the first time, the U.S. military used the bombard or invade strategy, which they continued to use throughout the war. Another significant battle was the Battle of Chapultepec. This battle took place on September 12th through the 13th of 1847, during the Battle of Mexico City. During this battle, U.S. troops bombarded the Mexican castle Chapultepec, which was the main base of the western defense of the city. This was one of the final battles of the Mexican-American War, since the morning after, Mexican forces retreated out of Mexico City and left it to be taken over by the Americans. In the end, the U.S. won the war. Although the U.S. Army suffered great losses due to disease, and the events of this war foreshadowed the soon-to-happen American Civil War. But because of this victory, the U.S. acquired a large quantity of land stretching from Texas to modern-day California.
This was accomplished with the signing of the Treaty of Guadalupe. This treaty between the U.S. and Mexico gave Mexico $15 million for the new land acquired, required the U.S. to patrol the newly drawn border, and protect the civil rights of Mexican nationals. Although this treaty was somewhat unfair because the U.S. didn't quite hold up to their end of the bargain, it still acquired massive amounts of land for the U.S. to expand on and develop the nation, helping accomplish the idea of manifest destiny that Americans strive for.